Ted Boardman again with the video tutorial on mapping. The example here is going to be a brick wall, a brick pattern mapped to the existing wall. And we've worked with this customer before, and we know that they can be very finicky about how they want things. They tell us one thing, but they're going to want something else for sure. So we need to be as flexible as possible. Now, we could go to the maps and materials that ship with Autodesk and find a brick material. That would be easy. We could go find our own images for brick materials. But when the client needs to have changes, for example, they might want a yellow brick instead of a red brick, we need to go to the internet or we need to go somewhere else in our resource capabilities and find a new yellow brick that satisfies their needs. In this case, we're going to use the tiles map that's a procedural or a parametric map built into 3ds Max. It is extremely flexible. So we're going to make sure that we're beginning on the right foot for setting up a flexible system. We'll start by going into our material editor. And this is the slate material editor. You may be comfortable working somewhere else, that's fine. I'm going to use an Arch and Design material. I have Mental Ray as my renderer, so I'm either going to drag and drop the Arch and Design from the left column here, or I can right-click here, go to Materials, Mental Ray, Arch and Design, and bring up a material node. This is going to be, I'm going to double-click on it so that I bring up my parameters here, and it's going to be named Brick Red. So I'll type that in, Brick Red, underscore red. I like underscore, and I like to give the name of the material first and then its attributes later so that the list of materials will make more sense to me. So Brick Red instead of red brick. Now, I'm not going to set any color here because we're going to use the tiles map to define the color and then again to define the bumpiness. So a couple ways I can do this. I can double click on my input node for diffuse color, and I come down here and find my tiles map. Tiles map. This is intended to create tiles. If I double click here on my node, we get to see the actual tile itself. Also, if I double click again, we'll be able to see the parameters over here for the tiles map. Now, basically, it's a 4x4 layout in stack bond. Here I can see that it's stack bond. Here I can see that it's a 4 horizontal by 4 vertical count pattern. Well, that doesn't exactly work as a brick pattern. But let me assign this material to our wall. I'll just drag from the output node here over to the wall itself, release, and I can't see anything yet because we don't have any mapping coordinates or we don't have the show map in viewport turned on. I'll right-click here on the map node and I'll say show shaded material in viewport. And we're still not getting the map showing. Okay, we'll take care of that in just a minute. I'm going to select my wall and I'm going to go into the Modify panel and apply a UVW Map modifier to make sure that we've got UVW pattern showing. So UVW Map modifier. This projects the tile map from the front of this particular wall because of the way it was built. Now look what happens when we stretch a pattern that's a square pattern over a rectangular wall. Our grout lines are wider here in the vertical grout than in the horizontal grout. This becomes a bit of a hassle getting it to be sized correctly. But we do have the map showing in the viewport. We do have UVW Map modifier set to planar mapping projecting this pattern directly from the front. That doesn't look anything like bricks. So we're going to need to make some adjustments to get the pattern, first of all, the correct aspect ratio so that we've got equal grout spacings, and then the correct size. So when we come back into the next tutorial, we'll learn how to make those adjustments.